See, too many caps. I don't know what side is which. Oh Lord, help me. What's up fam, Chi Chi here. Today I'll be giving you my perspective on some new products from Makeup by Mario. They've been out for a couple of weeks, but you know, your girl's just now getting around to it. So I have 4 products of his, and he was focusing a lot more on complexion this go round. So we're just going to get into it, see how these hold up and my thoughts on them. First up on the chopping block is this little guy. This is the Soft Sculpt Shaping Stick. It retails for $28. That's a pretty hefty price tag in my opinion. There are 6 shades, and how do you open this thing? Hold on. Oh, got it. You get this much worth of product, and that seems a little bit small. There are people who are darker than me who would need a stick darker than this, but yeah, this is the shade dark, and I mean, it doesn't look like a bad shade for me, but because this is second to last, it's like really good. Yeah, I mean, that looks like something I can rock with. It felt very smooth on the skin, but this is a little bit of product though. I don't know about this. Let me try to swatch some stuff against it because I haven't done like comparisons in a while. Black Opal is always my go-to when it comes to bronzing contour, so this is it right here. I mean, the shade is pretty much on point. Did I just find a dupe? Mario's is a little bit more on the neutral side, but Black Opal has always been the #1. And this is a foundation stick, but I just use it as a bronzer, as most of you already know. Let's go into some Fenty Beauty because I do like to try that. This is the shade Truffle. Definitely a little bit more on the cooler side. So I use that to contour. And then if I'm out in these streets, I go for Espresso, and that is a lot deeper. You can see that it's a little bit more on the neutral side than the rest of this. And also from what I can gather, this one looks a little bit more moist. The other ones kind of dry down a little bit more matte, mainly the Fenty Beauty ones. But even with the Black Opal, you know, she dries down a little bit, but she's still a little bit movable, you know what I'm saying? But this one I still see like a bounce to. So there is a brush that comes on the other side of this stick. It does have these raised balls on here. I'm not sure the purpose of it. I'm gonna just try this one side with the brush and see how it is. Kind of bounce it. Oh, that's giving me something. I think in his video, he only just bounced it across homegirl's face. So just gonna add a little bit more because I kind of was rubbing it in. I like how it's blending out, but I just don't like dual-ended products. That's just my thing. And plus, when I go to wash my brushes and things, like, I take the product in there, and that's why I don't really like dual-ended things. It's just like, give me a separate brush. I'm not mad. That did sculpt out my face, and because it's on the cooler side, that's why I get more of that contour chisel. But I do like it. It blends very nicely. I did bring it down a little bit too low, so ignore that part. But if I would have stopped it right here, that looks really nice. This side I'm just gonna do with my regular brush. I really just despise dual-ended products. It always gives me trouble. It's giving me that sculpt right there. If a product is labeled as sculpting, I do expect it to be a little bit more on the cool side. So off that is the correct naming for it. Granted, you can use anything that you want, but me personally, I like to stick to the basics of it all. If it says sculpt, it needs to be cool toned, in my opinion. With a hint of warmth. Because I can't be out in these streets looking all ashy either. You don't really need too much of it to really get that sculpted effect. But what I will say, because it's so cool, I definitely would have to balance this out with a bronzer. just to give my face that warmth up on here. Don't worry, we won't get to that. I would say that I am nicely sculpted where it's not overly dramatic. I don't need all that, okay? But this one is nice. I actually prefer the side with this brush. Maybe these little indentations have something to do with how it just spreads out. So we're gonna keep it with the cream products and go into blush. This is his Soft Pop Blush Stick. I got the shade Raspberry, and this also does retail for $28, and it looks like it's the same amount of product. There's 6 shades in this one as well. I did go out of my comfort zone with this color right here, and oh boy, oh boy. I'm just gonna kind of press it and dot it. Oh, sweet Lord. What did I get myself into? Okay. Keep it going. Just go ahead. Trust the process. It applies nicely. It does look natural. And I do air quotes because you know my thoughts and feelings on blush. That blended out really nice. I'm not even going to front. That did. Because you know me, I'm a little like, whew. I'm going to pick some up on, oh shit, I did. Ooh. I'm going to pick some up on the brush and apply it on this side. Okay, I'm going to have to take some of this off. No, this is a review. This is a demo. I might as well just go for the gusto. There is something to that brush is giving me a better result. I don't know if you guys can see it or not, but I don't know. I kind of am digging how all this is just melding together. Like this side is okay, but I don't know if y'all can really tell. Not a color that I would really go for, but I kind of like it. I mean, it's not terrible. Yo, Mario, you need to come out with this brush, fam. Like, this is cool. But application-wise, it goes on very pigmented. And then as you blend it, it shears out. Let me see if it's picking up anything. Nope, it didn't pick up anything. Face still looks on. I was really nervous about this because y'all know I don't be picking up colors like this, but I wanted to try something different. I always get the same sort of colors that, you know, work a little bit better with my complexion, but I'm not mad at this one. I feel like this one is very like summertime. Fun. Moving right along to the bronzer. This is a Soft Sculpt Bronzer in the shade Dark again. And it retails for, guess what? $28, you guessed it. Off bat, it is a shade that I probably would use. Here we go, 6 shades. Honestly, I feel like we should have a few more shades. I'm just gonna pop it right in the hollow of my cheek. Is there anything coming up? I don't think I'm seeing much of anything. You know what? There's nothing really on my forehead. Let's test that. I'm like really like getting all up in this, trying to bronze. Are y'all seeing anything? Because I'm sure I'm not seeing anything. I'm like picking up tons of product and it's barely showing up on me. It looks like something probably on the screen, but in person, I barely see anything. Real talk. Yeah, moving on. This is a Soft Pop Powder Blush in the shade Creamy Peach. Looking like this. It is $24. There are 5 shades. On the Sephora site, it looks a little bit deeper than what's right here, so I don't think this is going to be very promising either. It definitely added color. It's not really that pigmented. It's right here. Very, very light. But it's nice to set the cream blush with. it kind of just amplified my cream blush, but I don't think on its own it's really going to do much for me. I'm just gonna tone everything down just a little bit and see how it reacts to playing with others, because I did not set my face yet. I didn't set under my eyes either. Oof, child. Yeah, that looks really nice on the cheeks. My face looks good. Other than my friends visiting me for a week. Call this Cheech and Chong. Visitors from the South. I feel like this review is going by hella quick, but I think I instantly knew how I felt about some of these products. Let's just start off with the bronzer. The bronzer, Future Chi-Chi here. So after reviewing my footage and playing with these products a couple of more times, I have some other thoughts with these products. Mainly this bronzer. I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I wasn't feeling this bronzer when I was applying it. To me, it really didn't look like much product was on my face. But once I thought about the vibe of these complexion products, they are meant to be soft sculpting items. So taking that into account, I was like, you know what? I think Mario hit the nail on the head with this, because it is a very, very soft sculpt. I am wearing it right now. I'm only wearing the bronzing products, and it is a very natural bronzing effect to the skin. I just have concealer and foundation on, that's it. It was a slow day for me today. But with that being said, I do feel like these products are supposed to work in tangent with each other. I feel like the powder products kind of just bring out the efficacy of the cream products. It's just something about them, using them together, where it's just like, okay, I'm getting my life. Where I can use the cream products on their own 100%, but something about the powder is just the cherry on top when it comes to the cream products. And I feel the same way about the blushes as well. Even though Creamy Peach was very light, again, I thought about it and I was like, to set this super bright pink blush, why wouldn't I use a lighter pigmented powder? It made sense. I don't know why I started connecting all the dots off camera, but that's pretty much what I wanted to say. I just really feel like these products work in tangent together a whole lot better than they do standing alone, with the exception of the cream products. The powder ones, I just feel like it needs something more, but the creams, they stand alone and they can hold their own. So that's what I wanted to add to my review, so we can go back to it. I love a nice natural flush of a color, but I have other bronzers that give me just a little bit more. If I had gotten a little bit darker for the summer, yeah, I think this will be a fantastic face powder. I don't like the shade selection, and I know a lot of people were kind of giving this flack because it was like, oh, you know, you're friends with Kim, your range should be extensive. Here's what I say about all this. Stop counting other people's money, okay? Just because he knows Kim and she might be a billionaire and all that stuff, don't associate her money with his business. Keep that energy for Kim. If her shade rating is shitty, keep that with her. But Mario is his own separate entity. The blush, it was just a little too light. That was my mistake. However, the blush was very nice. It feels nice on the skin. Every product that I've tried, it felt very nice on the skin. This color is just not for me. It's nice to set the cream. I would have to get a different shade and like really test it out. It feels very nice and soft on the fingers and the face. Nothing really feels sticky. It sets beautifully. It melts with his products very, very nicely. Surprisingly, did not all the way hate this. It is very much so different for me. As bright as this is, I thought this was just going to be clown all the way, but you can still see that color. Let me put the cap on before I mess up my whole face. You can still see the color peeking through. It really does mesh well with my skin, and I can't be all the way mad with that because it gives you just that little pop of pink raspberry, and it's not terrible, and I don't hate it. And on to this guy, the Soft Sculpt. I really did like the shade because it does sculpt out my face. But if I did want to go that extra mile and really sculpt my face, I'm already at the second to last shade. So what are people darker than me going to do? That's my question. It's like, I can't really recommend this. My people can't join in the party. Like, no, we going to another club where we're all here. But honestly, the best thing about all these products is this freaking brush. I fucks with this brush right here. Something about this side, pimple and all, is just really doing it for me. It's like a kabuki with raised indentations, and then it's densely packed, but it's still got a little bit of movement to it. The only bad thing about this stick, when you're trying to put the cap back on the brush, some of these fibers are going to bend backwards and stuff like that. So it would have been nice if he had like a safety like neck or something, kind of like the Fenty one. The Fenty one has this one little feature that makes life so much simpler. If he would have put that on here, that'd be great. But overall, I mean, I'm 50-50 with this particular collection. For me, it's not a must buy. I do like that he ventured out into complexion. He does beautiful complexion, and I know that we're having a moment where complexion is king right now, is very much so dialed down, and I get it. It's just he needs to work on the shade range like 100%, because honey, boo boo child, honey, I just need to play with these products a little bit more. Maybe just the bronzers on its own and the blushes on its own. He's doing really well with these cream products, and for the powder stuff, I think if there's a better shade range, it can be a lot better. So I don't hate these products in a sense of they're terrible. I just don't like the shade range. Bam, that's my opinion on it. Check out some of my other videos, and I'll catch you in the next one. Stay comfy, guys.